Honduras, a vibrant nation in the center of Central America, is a crossroads of history and culture, where ancient traditions and modern rhythms live side by side. Family, food, and community are at the center of Honduran life. Dishes like baleadas, tamales, and sopa de caracol aren't just meals, they're part of the nation's identity. Festivals bring the streets alive with color, dance, and above all, music. Along the northern Caribbean coast lives the Garifuna community, descendants of African, Arawak, and Carib peoples. Their music, declared by UNESCO as part of humanity's cultural heritage, blends storytelling, rhythm, and spirituality. The Garifuna punta rhythm, played by hand drums and shakers, is a lively dance of movement and celebration. We traveled to San Pedro Sula, the second largest city in Honduras and one of the country's most important economic and industrial centers. It was in San Pedro Sula where we met one of Honduras' most important artists, Manu Martinez. Manu Martinez is a Honduran musician, composer, and producer. He is known for his innovative musical pieces that involve cultural and ethnic research, combining various genres such as Garifuna parranda, Latin, pop, rock, classical, folk, and others. He has produced music for various artists and is a pioneer in composing soundtracks for national films and documentaries. Coming from a low-income family, Manu was unable to receive a formal education in music, forcing him to become a self-taught musician and composer from an early age. Today, his musical pieces are heard and performed in schools, institutions, the media, artistic groups, marching bands, orchestras, and folk dance groups both inside and outside Honduras. Manu Martinez is currently one of the most important figures in Honduran music, standing out for his audiovisual productions and in energetic, colorful live shows. His music has taken him to stages in North America, Europe, and Asia. Manu, how did your musical journey begin, and what influences shaped the sound you have today?
So I can recall that my first experience with music was listening to my dad play the piano. And after that, I remember I was just in love with music. It was that playing music was the thing that made me most happy. But I preferred to be in the piano than playing outside with other kids. So I think it was a calling early in my life and something that I can't escape.
Let me ask you a question. When did you first realize, at what age, that you had the ability to write a song or a melody, that you were a songwriter, that you had that gift?
Yeah, I wasn't able to afford a music school for my parents. So that was a big frustration when I was a kid. I couldn't travel to the music school. We were very poor as a family. So answering your question as well, I remember my mom bought like a Christian DVD of a Christian artist named Paul Wilbur. So in his concert, he used to have this big orchestra, and his arrangement. He had like the classical arrangement with the violins, but also the these weird instruments that I've never heard of. And this makes like I used to watch that DVD over and over each day because that was the only thing we had in our TV.
How old were you? How old were you at this time?
I was like 8 or 9,
Okay.
so I wasn't able to afford a music school as well as I was telling you. So
That was like a music.
yeah, so
school when you watch it.
I didn't have any option. I mean, how could I play something that I haven't done before? So I had to create my own melodies. I started to like just experience myself with the guitar. Oh, I can create my own thing, my own rhythm, my own melodies. Then I was able to afford to buy a piano many years later. And I was able to, oh, I can orchestrate, I can do this. So music was like a sort of an exploration of my own at first.
Manu, today you're one of the most important figures in Honduran music, and I would say Central American music. My question is, in your experience, how has Honduran music evolved in recent years? You've been a part of that. And also, what makes it unique in the broader world of Latin music, world music?
Well, thank you. I think at the time that I started my career, I felt that I was like a boy. Actually, there was like, I mean, nothing has happened with Honduran music. I felt that at that point. So that was one of the reasons I became a Honduran representation of
Yes.
music. And that was something that motivated me to create new things, because we're used just to have the dances, the traditional dances with the folk music or the garifuna, but I wasn't listening to new proposals, like new arrangements. So I started to mix different elements from Honduran musical culture, and that was something that actually gave me identity as an artist. So I think that we haven't evolved as we would like, but there needs to be, these are the things and projects that need to be done in order to evolve Honduran and Central American music. We need to start to think as how can we mix different multicultural identities, because we are a multicultural country. Central America has Garifuna music, has the folk music, has the indigenous music. So how can we be creative to have everything mixed and create a new proposal?
One of your most iconic songs that has traveled the world, and you traveled representing Honduras to the world, literally, is Wendeti Nagaira. And what does that song mean? And tell us a little bit about it, because that has a fusion of Honduran rhythms and other rhythms.
So I was like 17 years old when my pastor back in church sent me to a mission where Garifans live, like, in a very remote village in Honduras.
And what are Garifans? What is that?
Well, Garifans are the black people of Honduras. They came like many years ago from Africa. Then they went to San Vicente. Then they settled in Roatan, and then they traveled to different parts of Central America. So their music is very special, very unique. It has like mixed with Honduran culture and Central American culture in a unique way, in a way that now the world knows us, because many have Garifuna rhythms. So as I was telling you, I was 17 years old, and I went into this village to live with them, to learn from them, their lifestyle, their music, and I was inspired. Then I was listening to what Garifuna music was like, what people were doing, producing Garifuna music, and I thought to myself, I want to do something different. I want to make this rhythm, the music, sound different. So then I returned home, and many years after, I was composing music for a film, and I had to, like, in a scene, compose something with Garifuna music, but I had to create this feeling of, like a film score, feeling the orchestra. So I started to compose When the Tinagueira, but then I felt that it was just like a small piece, right?
What does that mean? What does it mean?
When the Tinagueira means my land is so beautiful in Garifuna language. It is a language. So then I thought that, people were reacting to the song, and it's so beautiful. So I decided to make like a whole production of it. And I remember I spent all of my money on it. Like every artist, you have to pay for the video production, for the mixing of the song. Even though I composed, create, produce my own songs, I still have to, spend money on the mixing, on the mastering, on the video. So it was a challenge, but I think it had a unique essence to it, and a different arrangement of what people have been listening, or we used to listen about Garifuna music.
Oh
I didn't expect it to become like a national
Yes.
song now. They use it in every school. The folkloric dance groups used it all the time, and now this song has taken me to Europe,
Yes.
to Asia, to China. So I mean, it was born in my heart, and I guess that's the beauty of it. It's like true when you're composing something that's true. It affects the other people that listen to what you create.
Beautiful. It's beautiful to be here from Nicaragua. We're from Honduras. We're from the same region, from Central America. Yet we're really getting to know each other, the things that unite us culturally, but also looking at music globally. You had the opportunity to travel recently to the United States, to Spain, to Italy, to China, to take your music. What role do you think music plays in building unity?
Well, I think it has a big role, and for me, I always tell people about. I feel that music is my calling, but not just to entertain, you know. But I felt like music has something bigger, deeper, and bigger, in my calling. So when I've traveled to these different cultures, I've learned that music is an important thing in their development. You know, sometimes we take music like, it's not that important. In our countries or in our culture, music is, well, when a kid wants to be a musician, their father, you want to starve yourself,
Yeah.
get a real job, But music can be just like as important as any job in the world. And what I feel is that my creations can make cultures unite. But what happened in China, as you were telling us, I took my song When the Tinaeda, but we were able to incorporate the Chinese art, the Chinese vocals, and it was like an impressive experience because it was not that hard to do. Music is a global thing, It's something that every human being brings in their blood, and so I think one of my dreams is to do that. You were talking about Central American music, and I was thinking to myself last night, why don't we get more unified as Central American artists to create something different to impact the world? When I was in China, they tell me, where are you from? Honduras. Where is Honduras? I tell them, it's Central America.
Yeah.
I'm proud to be a Central American. So I think a step at a time, one of my goals would be to unite Central American music into a whole new proposal, a new music sound. And then, for example, I just started a project in which I brought back to Honduras instruments from China, and I started to do new arrangements, and people liked it a lot in social media. And I was using their instruments,
Yes.
with songs that were created in America, and that's just a perfect example of what music can do. So I started to use Chinese flutes and Chinese drums, but with Christian music that was composed in America, for example. So that's the power of music, and people feel connected through music, and that's something that will never change.
I congratulate you because I truly believe that music, especially folklore music, is a living, breathing thing. It's always evolving. It's always growing, and it has been that way. If we think of, we were talking before the cameras were on about blues music, roots music, and it's always evolving. From blues, jazz is rock and roll is, and then from rock and roll, heavy metal. I mean, only speaking of like American much, and then in Central America, the story's still being told, and you have a big part of today's story. And I would love to conclude the interview if you could show us a little bit of the music that you're doing now with those elements from Asia here in Central America. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
And thank you, Manu, for what you're doing for the region, and know that you can count on us. And behind the camera, Joseph Espada, a great marimba player from Nicaragua, to do something in the future, in the near future.
Yeah. We surely will do something together soon. That's the beauty of music, and I've made a lot of friends through music because I'm an introvert. We were talking
Yeah.
behind scenes. But music has made me just forward to know people and to heal people. You know, I've heard many people tell me when I listened to one of your compositions, I was able to recover my heart. I felt different, and then I started to see music as a different thing because you know through history, music has been an expression of suffering, of joy. People have developed, you know, a way to expressing their feelings through instruments. That's how many genres have been born in the world, and that's the beauty of it because when you are playing a native instrument or a specific genre, you're actually playing what someone in history felt when they created that. And I want to do that. I want to keep creating new things. I want to keep experiencing new things. And I want to impact the world through that, not through a position of ego, but to unify hearts and to heal people. I feel like my purpose in this life is use music to heal the world.
Well, my friend, you are doing it. I definitely feel it when I hear your music, and I'm very proud that you're taking the music of Honduras and Central America to the world. Gracias,
Thank you.
Thank
Gracias.
you.
Llegué buscando a mi amor, la encontré en brazos de otro hombre, también tomando licor. Amigo, yo no lo conozco, ay, me disculpa, señor. No creo que hayas olvidado que anoche tú fuiste mía, señor. Si usted no conoce los placeres de cantina, parece cosas bonitas, pero otro día.